I said, this is the project that we're making right now. You guys are going to use all hand tools on it. So we got different parts. So the first thing we're going to kind of do is write down our bill of material. So as we go, so we got the first part, or part A. I'm going to actually start here in the back. Now we're just using a straight board, what's referred to as a 4S4 board that we kind of got from the lumber yard. It measures 5.5 by 3/4. So that's the actual size. So the actual size is 3/4 by 5.5, and these are 8-foot long boards that you're getting now. That's the actual size. And remember, we're following that thickness by width by length here with our terminology as we do it. What that is actually called, the nominal size, is a 1" by 6, or a 1 by 6. So that's what the nominal size is called. So if you wanted to go to Lowe's or Builder Square or RP Lumber, you would have to ask them, I need some 1 by 6s. And they would know that. They know that the actual size is 3/4 by 5.5, but it's actually called a 1 by 6. So our first part here is part A, and I'm going to call that, we're going to just name that the back. Okay. And we already mentioned that that is going to be 3/4 by 5.5. So 3/4 by 5.5. And we're going to cut that to the length of 16.5 inches. Now, this is my bill of material over here. So I'm going to also kind of prepare a cut list or a cut diagram, so I can see how to take that out of the board. So I got my 8-foot long board here. So this is 8 feet. So my first cut is going to come over here, is going to be 16.5 inches. So there's my first cut, 16.5 inches. Now, my next piece is going to be these sides. So, and notice I got, so part B is the sides. I got 2 of these, so that's quantity of 2 pieces. So this is 1 piece here. So again, we're 3/4 inch by 5.5 as far as our thickness and our width. And here, our length that you're cutting these to is going to be 9 inches. So we're going to cut these to 9 inches long. So that means that I'm going to come over here after I make that cut. So I'm going to have this piece at 9 inches. So, and then this second piece will be at 9 inches as well. Now, Mr. Levitz, you'll notice I put a space in between there, in between those pieces. What am I doing there? Why is that space there?
Just like in case it's not even, you can, I don't know.
Not so much has to do for even. Hopefully you guys are going to be cutting these square. Because if you cut out a square, you're definitely going to be longer or shorter going either direction. So, but what do we have to allow for? The thickness of the blade, right? So we're going to be removing material out of that wood. We got to allow for the thickness of the blade. We call that space a kerf. So, and the kerf is the thickness of the blade and the amount of material that's removed. So, in this case, I'm going to allow 1/8 of an inch kerf each time I cut this. So, there I got those. All right, now, my next piece here then is the back. So, now, we can already gauge some information just by looking at this. Actually, I'm not the back, it's the bottom, sorry. So we got 1 piece here, that's the bottom. So this is going to be 3/4 by 5.5 as well. I really have enough information up here. What's the length of that going to be? that I'm gonna cut it. Reese, what do you think? If I take a look. So, I can use some things, I can think about what my length is gonna be on there based on other information I know already.
Pretty close to 16.
I'm gonna be pretty close to 16 and a half. I mean, I don't know what your definition of 16 and a half, or what your definition of pretty close is. Is it gonna be 16 and a half?
No, it's
No.
gonna be
So, no,
16 and a half.
What's 3/4 plus 3/4?
there we go, yeah, so we're gonna have 16 and a half minus 3/4 minus 3/4, because we got both of those sides. So what is 3/4 plus 3/4?
6/8.
Try again. So, 3/4, oops, plus 3/4 equals, so does my denominator change? No. And because they have a like denominator, I can add these, so that's, and I can simplify that to
1 2/4.
1 2/4 or 1 1/2. So if I take 16 and a half minus 1 1/2, what's the length of my bottom gonna be? 15 inches. All right. So just by kind of using the way some of this is going together, so I will also have this piece, which is 15 inches here. All right. Now, as you look inside the box, I also have these two steps. I'll call those steps for now. Those are basically going to hold the shelf, hold that metal tray in there. So those are going to be the shelf that holds that. So I got two pieces here, and these are what I'll call a step. So these are 3/4 by 5 1/2 by 2 inches on that. So you'll have to cut those at 2 inches. Okay. Now you guys are going to love me because I'm going to require you to do some more math here. So I mentioned that that board was 8 feet long. Okay. So here's the math I want you to do. I want to know how much total board am I using and what's going to be left over here. So how much total board am I using and what's going to be left over on this as I cut these. So this is where we got to add. So what do we got to add up here? Yeah, so I got 16 and a half plus 9 plus 9 plus 15 plus 2 plus 2. Okay, so 16 and a half plus 9 is 25 and a half plus 9 is 34 and a half plus 15, let's see, 34, 44, 49 and a half, 51 and a half, 53 and a half, if I added correctly. You guys confirm and check. So, is that this total distance from here to here?
Yeah.
Say yeah. What do you think, Mr. Levitt?
Yeah.
You say yes too? What do you think?
No, I'm just kidding.
No.
Yeah, we didn't say no.
Don't forget, you got this curve there too, so we just added up the length of each of those individual pieces, but we also have to allow for the curve. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cuts here, basically. So I got 6 cuts here, so
8,
6 times 1/8
6 8,
is 6/8. Reduce that to
4/4,
3/4. So I gotta add that 3/4 to there as well. So this gives me, I got 1/4, 54, and 1/4. 54 and 1/4 is my distance there. Now to find this out, I gotta take 8 feet minus 54 1/4 inches.
Oh, wait, you still have to do the front.
We'll come back to that, all right? and we got two more pieces, I'm gonna talk about that one in a minute, because you'll notice that's not the same width as the other one, right? So how much material should you have left over if you've made all of these cuts perfect, you've paid attention to all the detail, what do you have left? So, I gotta take 8 feet minus 54 1/4, so. Reese, do I wanna use 8 feet, or do I wanna do some type of conversion? Alright, so how many inches are in 8 feet?
12 times 8.
42.
12 times 8 is
Oh, 90 something.
98,
8 maybe, 2.
6.
96 inches minus 54 1/4 inches. Alright, now, you pay attention as I'm dividing this, so I'm kind of keeping my whole numbers separate from my fractions here. So I'm gonna take one away from the 96. So this is 95, and I'm gonna put that over here as a fraction, so that's gonna be 4/4. So that leaves me 3/4 here. Now I can subtract 95, so I'm left with 41 3/4 inch over here. That should be what I have left over if you guys are making perfect cuts each time. Okay, now, so that you identify we still have 2 pieces. I could take another front piece here, and we could, you remember what type of saw cut that's called if we would go with the grain? We could take a rip cut, so down there, we could cut that 5 1/2 to it, but we're not gonna do that. I'm saving myself some time, so I'm gonna need one piece here. That's gonna be the front. We're using another nominal size. This is gonna be a 1x4 inch by 8 foot. And the actual size of that is gonna be 3/4 by 3 1/2. So here, that front will be a 1x4, which measures 3/4 by 3 1/2. And what's the length you want to cut that one to? 16 1/2 on that one. 16 1/2 inches on that one. And you will also need one piece. This is our handle. So, and that handle is a 3/4 inch diameter. So, notice